It's windy. It's windy again. Oh, it's horrible. Yeah. Are you going to have a white Christmas?
Let me check again real quick. When we checked like a week ago, there was like a 90% chance we were going to get snow on Christmas.
Oh.
Now it's saying slush. So.
Well, it's still better than brown dust like we have.
Right. Well, I mean, because today's like a rainy day and yesterday was slushy and it doesn't accumulate. It just hits the ground and becomes water again. So
you still have a little cozy feeling though, like you can, cozy up with your bowl of Cracklin Oat Bran.
I did go to 2 grocery stores yesterday to find it because I don't know. Like we have a major regional brand of grocery store here in our town. And then we have another like locally owned grocery store. And I tend to shop, people are going to judge me. I tend to shop at the major brand one because they have everything I need in one stop, but the local one is closer. And if for some reason the one is out, then I go to the other one, or if I'm like time crunch, go to the regional one. Anyway, so I went to the big major brand one yesterday and it was like post-apocalyptic wasteland and not in the fun way. So it was like whole sections of the shelves were empty, and other places you could tell someone had been told to come and just face everything. So you'd have like Special K that had like 8 feet of shelf space, that shop and a couple, like 2 other stores in town have been like that this week. Like, I think they just don't have enough people working right now. So Crackling Oat Bran, nowhere to be found, but they had tons of Special K if anyone's in the market for Special K.
Just saying.
So I went over to the other shop, and the other shop was like everything in stock. Everything was perfect. So they had Crackling Oat Bran.
Nice.
I got my Crackling Oat Bran. But the funny thing is,
you mean the fact that you eat Cracklin Oat Bran on Christmas is not funny enough?
Carby Christmas was saved. The funny thing was that evening, my daughter was hanging out with her friend and they decided they wanted to bake a cake because that's their level of nerdery. They get together and cook things.
Yeah. Nerdery.
Teenagers all have their genre, right?
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah.
Mine are the same age as yours about.
Yeah. So they went to that same shop and she said by the evening, that's what that store looked like. It was just like, everything was bare, big sections of bare. So I think I just hit it at the right time.
Yeah. Did they get their cake stuff though?
They did. And Carby Christmas started early because, so she has this very, very good friend named Leo, and the 2 of them hang out all the time. And they went and saw Spider-Man without me, which totally understandable because they're teenagers, right? But I still harass them because
you still seem a little incensed about that though.
I am a little, because here's why. Marvel movies are family movies. We always go as a family. And so we knew the Spider-Man movie was out and Adam and I want to go see it. And we were like, no, our oldest has already told us that they're over Marvel movies. They don't care anymore. And so we're like, okay, fine. But we were like, we'll wait. We knew at this point that Adam was going to have to go on his trip. So we were like, we'll wait until you get back and then we'll take Abby and go see it. And in the meantime, Abby went and saw it with a friend. So I was a little bitter. And I was like, tell Leo he's dead to me. And
only a little bitter.
And I harass the 2 of them like this all the time. And so she and Leo went and bought cake mix and they baked a cake, but then Leo got like a disposable metal tin and baked me a little cake in the tin and sent it home with Abby. And I was like, well, I have to eat this because.
And he's not dead to you, clearly.
No longer dead to me. So.
So Leo made amends.
So Leo fixed it. But Carby Christmas has begun now as a result.
Like 3 days early.
Like 3 days early. So yeah. So normally, if I'm honest, Carby Christmas usually extends a day or 2 because I'm like, oh, there's a little bit of Cracklin Oat Bran left or whatever, So I'm like, okay, so maybe we'll do the beginning part. We'll taper into it and then stop. We'll see. We'll see if that works.
Or it just becomes a week-long dietary event.
Carby end of the year celebration.
So I'm assuming you find your mac and cheese.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
Right.
We got that. I got the 5-box pack to be safe. Because everybody has their way of making it. So that's 4 boxes right there.
And you know what? My husband was at the store last night and I forgot to ask him to look for Cracklin Oat Bran. I mean, I think I've seen it. I've just never. Well, now I'm gonna have to try
show you the box because I can go get the box.
Oh, well, okay then. Okay.
Just so everyone's clear, it was not in the pantry and heads were gonna roll. And then I remembered that I put it in the bag. I kept it in the bag with all the Christmas stuff. Because I didn't want people to see it in the pantry and eat it. But in the meantime, I'm in the pantry going, where's the Cracklin Oat Bran?
She's yelling from the other room, Jana, where's the Cracklin Oat Bran? I'm like,
this is the king of cereals. Free advertising for Kellogg's.
Okay, I want to see the texture on the picture. You got to hold it up so I can see.
Cracklin Oat Bran.
Oh, it comes in squares.
Yeah, they're super hard. You have to put the milk on and wait like 2-3 minutes. But you can't wait because it's so delicious. You have to start eating right away.
You just eat it dry?
Oh yeah. It's like eating little oatmeal cookies. Like crispy oatmeal cookies. They're so good. Oh.
Is it sweetened a little bit?
Maybe a lot. It's pretty good. It's not like frosted or anything.
You're like hugging it.
I love this so much. This is my box of Cracklin Oat Bran that I will share with my husband on Christmas Day. But
why?
I was worried. Someone was going to be in trouble. So anyway, Cracklin Oat Bran, get yourself some. It's delish. Let me know how you like it and then stay away from mine.
That's right. Drop a comment if you're going to try it or if you have and you love it.
There were several people yesterday who said that now they have to go find it. And yeah, you do. It's delicious.
Ooh, look, I see that you've cast on your bottom ribbing.
My bottom. Yeah, I cast on my bottom.
Nice.
I actually did it the other day. I finished I'm going to put this on my Instagram after we're done recording. I got my 2 sleeves.
Nice. Lovely.
And they're the same size.
They are beautiful.
I think we talked about my gauge issues already. And then I'm about halfway through on this.
Mm-hmm. And I will say for people that are watching, I realize there's a video that's supposed to come out today. Well, we'll see. Christmas preparations at my house are becoming difficult. So
yeah, it's crunch time.
It is. And I thought I'd be able to get a video up this week, but I'm like, okay, now it's going to be like the day before Christmas Eve and it's Christmas Eve. And now I have to go drive 2 hours to Cheyenne and back. And I'm trying. Be patient, people. I'm trying.
What is this one going to be about?
This one is the joining of the sleeves. And of course,
I'm so behind.
And that's a little fiddly. I mean, it is a little fiddly to join all that up and have the grafting, the part under the arm that you're going to graft, have that separate and then join everything. It is a little fiddly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's awkward when you see me do it on the video. It's like, this is awkward because it just is. It's awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I will say for a bottom up versus top down, you don't have that fiddliness with the top. Yeah.
Right.
But, I have something to show you knitted related and then we'll open our things.
Yes.
Okay. So I put on my Instagram a couple weeks ago, I was slamming out those DK socks because I wanted to see if I could knit a pair of DK socks and keep up with Lauren's A Girl in Her Wool and her monthly subscription thing. So I'm almost done.
Yay! I love the 2-part. I love the heel and toe difference.
And the reason I have put them together on the same, I did not knit the whole thing 2 at a time. That's deceiving for me to show you this. I did not do that. I only have put them on the same needle for just the last like half a dozen rows because, now I want to use the rest.
Yeah, use it up.
So, but I may or may not use the rest. It's okay to have scraps because of darning, because I like to have a little left over of the same thing for darning purposes.
Uh-huh.
especially since this is the Fish Lips Kiss heel, and it does not have like a slip stitch reinforcement. I mean, you could totally add that, and I might in the future, but yeah. Anyway,
this was your first time doing that, right?
Yeah, the Fish Lips Kiss.
So
I just haven't before. I don't know why.
The first time you just do it, and then you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it how I want it next time.
However, normally I wear a hole like underneath the ball of my foot, like the big toe knuckle.
Right.
So I don't mind
the ball of your foot.
I don't mind having some left over for darning later.
Yep, that works.
So this is exciting for me. And then of course I'm knitting the 2 sweaters, and then yeah.
So speaking of all the things on your needles and DK weight yarn, are you going to do the Hiberknit along with Steve and West coming up starting on December 26th?
That's tempting.
I know. I was thinking about it last night because they released the patterns. So you just knit something from Hiberknit along too. And there's 7 patterns to pick from. And I like one of the shawls. I like the half circle one. And it's like stripy background with cables that come over it.
Oh,
you know? It's really cute. And it's DK weight yarn.
I'll have to look at that.
So I started sort of digging in my stash a little last night, because this I feel like is another one where if I have the yarn, I will do it, but I'm not going to buy specific yarn. And I kind of was hoping I had enough Uradale yarn to do it in the Uradale Shetland. I don't. So
and it's
I'm
DK?
It's DK. So you can double fingering, and that's the same.
Is it, or is that worsted? I always am a little confused about that.
No, that's what DK means, is double knitting, and then the knitting yarn that they're referring to is fingering,
not lace.
Not lace.
Well, goodness knows I have plenty of fingering.
Yeah. So I was even looking at that, but I still don't have enough yardage in the same color, whatever, to make enough.
How many colors is it?
So it's 500 for the main color.
Okay.
And then for the contrast colors, it's 150, 150, 135, or you can just do 435 and just have it be the same throughout for the second color.
Okay.
So I don't know. I found some possibilities, but it was nighttime and I wasn't sure how the color was working because of the lighting in my room and stuff. And I was going to do some more digging today and see, and try and sort that out. So
I'm going to have to go look at that. As if
Yeah.
I need another thing on the needles.
Yeah, right? Why not? The cool thing about his knit alongs though is everybody casts on together, and then when you're done, you're done. It's not a deadline thing. So like his mystery knit along, I see people finishing that now.
Right. And then there was a couple people in my group actually that totally kept up, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's the shawlography. And they totally kept up. And I was like, wow.
I tried to, and then I realized I didn't like the shawl. So that's when I stopped.
All right.
That's fine.
You're the boss.
I'm the boss of my knitting.
You are.
I even made changes along the way, and then I was like, you know what? I'm having to change this way too much. So
I'm done.
Yeah. But I have seen, I would say like 60 to 70% of the ones I've seen, I've been like, yes, that is gorgeous, and wear it with pride. And and the rest, I'm like, I wish you'd seen it. You know, it's that thing where if you'd seen it first, you maybe swap 2 of the colors or taken one, replace, you know, it's just, that's the thing with a mystery knit along. I don't think they're for me. I just don't think they're for me. I'm a control freak.
I hear you. But this one's not. The hibernating's not a mystery. So I might have to go check it out.
Yeah.
So should we have the chicken report?
Okay, here's my chicken report.
Funny, the last 3 days we feel the need to make sound effects now.
Well, I saw it the first time you put it in. I was like, oh, there's no sound. It needs sound. So I'm providing sound.
Okay.
And that's not a criticism, by the way. I was just like,
no, I know. It's just funny. I think it's funny. Okay, look at what you've got.
Okay, so I am not done with this row. So here's the deal. And I had this happen with a couple other stripes where, let me see if I can find one. Anyway, somewhere down here, there's one where I only have 10 ridges. because
Oh, I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
yeah, it was going to be too short. And that was what was going to happen with this one too. I was only going to have 10 ridges because I was going to be half a row short. And I was like, you know what? I don't want another 10 ridge row. I want to push it as far as I can. So I am at halfway through the last row I need to be on. And I stopped and I didn't use, like, I have all these balls here, all these like little remnant
tidbits.
balls here, the tidbits from this project, but none of them really work with this.
Mm.
And I think that this gray
that'll work.
It's close to that gray, but I was like, you know what? I want to see what the next color is before I decide how to finish this row off.
Okay. Because you only have like,
no, it's a full half row. Like I have this much more to go.
No, I mean, you have like this much wool left. Yarn.
Yeah. Like I'm out. This is how much I have left. Like I took it as far as I could.
Okay.
To get that as much as I could.
So we need to see what is today.
Yeah. So let's do that. Let's see what today's is.
Okay.
And I didn't even peek. I was so good. I was like, I'll just peek and see. Oh, it's very purpley. That's a very purpley hank of yarn.
I think that'll work.
Misquote elf. So that, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tempted to still just finish it with the gray then.
Yep.
Just
and then you're starting the new one. Yeah.
And then start the purple. I think that's what I'll do.
Because if you don't, then you're starting the new one at a deficit already.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So any guesses on what character or background or we don't guess anymore?
We don't guess anymore. One of them, I can't remember which, I don't know which one it was. One of them was the spider. Is it a grouchy spider, a busy spider, the very busy spider? But I didn't look to see, I forgot which color it was. I looked to see what the inspiration was, but I didn't see what hank she pulled out. So I'm not sure what it is. So that's not helpful. Hey, the kitty's back. Everyone look at the kitty for a minute while I look that up.
She was trying to climb my leg, so I reached down and picked and helped her so she wouldn't tear up my leg because she's getting bigger and she's getting pretty serious claws. She's very zoomy and bitey this morning. Zoomy and bitey. So what little babies do.
Okay. Let me click through real quick. Okay, yes. So that one, the very busy spider. Oh, sorry, my mail clicked. Oops. Okay, take it out of the package. It's day 21. Oh, so it is this one. This one is the very busy spider.
Oh.
Let me look back at this. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, sometimes like in the hank, a color will be more emphasized than in the picture.
Right.
And so then it throws me off. But then when I see the picture, I'm like, no, that color's totally right there. And that one's right there. And that, like, okay, that makes sense. So this one is the very busy spider.
Okay.
And this one hasn't been released yet. So we'll find out.
You don't know that yet.
And this is something purple and magnificent. Is there a purple elephant in a book? I feel like that's a thing. I don't remember the very busy spider very well. I feel like we read that one a lot, but I don't remember that one very well. Okay. Sorry. That was my crazy ramblings.
Well, now how am I supposed to open my thing when there's a bath going on? Look at her.
Go ahead and she's so cute.
She's having okay, I'll try.
She's like full on bathing.
Yeah, she's having a bath. Okay.
She's doing a YouTube for other kitties on how to take a bath.
Well, when she first came in the house, she was she'd kind of been neglected. We were worried that she wouldn't really realize how to.
Mm-hmm.
But we have other cats and she loves Peanut. And so I think Peanut showed her. I did an Instagram reel a long time ago where Peanut pushed her down and washed her face for her. And so like, come here, you. But I think that was only because she had. Yeah, exactly. I think that was only because she had food stuck to her face that he did that.
Peanut's like, delicious snack. Thank you.
Yeah, do you remember when you were little though, and my mom would take a napkin like at a restaurant, dip it in the ice water, and then wash your face? And you're like,
yeah, like rub. You're like, settle down, woman.
Ooh, day 23. that's peachy.
Ooh,
Okay, now instead of like
that's
rose,
definitely
it's
peachy.
definitely the peachy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, here, let's see if we can manage this. Okay, so this is day 23, so 21, 22, 23. We're definitely getting more of the
Yep, going into the peach. I was thinking she was going to go more into the burgundy color, but
I thought so too.
yeah, but I like that.
That's awesome.
Enough on the peach. Okay, I think
Cool.
today, just from the feel of it, I think it's another stitch marker.
Yeah.
Sorry, get it away from the microphone, man. It is. Look.
Ooh, put your hand behind it.
I have to open it though. It's binoculars.
That's so cute.
For
Like
British Yarn
explorers.
Explorers.
Yeah.
Yeah. How cute is that?
That's
I
awesome.
love that. Alex, that's brilliant.
That is brilliant. Super cute. Today is the first of the Great Sands Dunes National Park.
Okay. Where's that one?
I don't know where that is. I'm not prepared.
Should I Google? I'll Google.
Yeah, real quick.
Great Sands Dunes National Park. Here we go.
From Jessie at Yarn Over New York. Look at her cool little logo.
I like her logo. That is cute.
And she's our interview today.
That's another one I didn't get to see. So I'm going to get to
the baby is interested in the crinkling.
Rightly so.
Nice. Look at that. Look at the colors.
Bluey. Like that.
Yeah. This is on her Times Square base. Sock weight yarn, 75, 25, 20 grams. Nice.
Very nice. Lovely.
Hey, so Jessie was delightful. You were away. I don't know what you were doing.
I wasn't able to sit in on that one.
But she is a blast. She was lots of fun, very colorful.
I look forward to watching.
Super fun. So we'll get to that interview and we'll visit. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Awesome. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. Hey, Jessie, welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy you were able to take time out of your New Yorker schedule to to join me. I feel like things are so much more fast paced there than here because it's New York.
Things definitely are fast paced in New York in general. And also we are recording this at the end of November. Right. And I know that this will be aired later, but right now, it's busy.
Things are busy.
I'm in the middle of a studio renovation, and on top of that, I'm shipping out the Holiday Adventures, which is my own version of the yarn countdown calendars.
Right.
And it is, things are full on. So yes.
So crazy. And I love your fun aesthetic and all the cool colors you've got going there. That's a blast. So tell me how did you become a dyer initially?
Okay, well, I'm gonna start at the beginning. When I was 5 years old, my mom gave me like 4 skeins of yarn and a crochet hook, and I fell in love with yarn. Yeah. It was always in my life from that point going forward. I did a little bit of crochet. I was probably a little bit young, so I did chains, but I couldn't really do a single crochet. Like turning around was just a bit much, but I made a bunch of chains.
Well, you were 5. I mean,
yeah. And then I made God's eyes, and then I started doing plastic canvas, and I actually have, this is like vintage yarn.
That is
plastic canvas.
Awesome.
Flash forward, all of the like younger kid crafts with yarn, then crochet, then knitting, then design, then now it's like 2016 in Vancouver, British Columbia. So we skipped like 30 years. Okay. And I was at a yarn shop at the little, like, get together, like weekly get together. And one of the workers said, I'm throwing a yarn dyeing party at my house tomorrow. Do you want to come dye yarn with me? And I was like,
Sure.
And I went over to her house and I dyed 4 skeins of yarn. The very first one I dyed, I knit an I-cord out of it. So this is a sample of the very first skein of yarn that I ever dyed. And the colorway is Comet Tail. It is still one of my best sellers. And
cool.
So yeah, right. So I fell in love with dyeing that day and went home, ordered a bunch of bare yarn, ordered a starter dye kit, and
never looked back.
Never looked back. So now 5 years later, here I am, inside of my home apartment dye studio, living the dream.
Now you're right in the city, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Like, I don't understand all the borough thing and whatever. I mean, it's all just massive city to me. Being from the West, I have no idea. I've never been there. The whole concept of that many people in one space scares the crap out of me. So,
well, it's actually not that scary. It is a little bit overwhelming if you're not used to it. But I mean, I live so. There are the boroughs, but like when you think New York, you think Manhattan. I live in Manhattan, up towards the top in a very famous neighborhood called Harlem. And I've been here for 19 years. Wow. And I know, and I love it. And there are 1,000 people on my block, but like, I know, but that means there's always someone around, So it's,
I don't want that many people around.
No, it's fine. I have everything I need on my block. I have a grocery store.
Oh, cool.
And I live across the street from the post office. So people are always like, you ship so fast. And I'm like, yes, I do.
That's fantastic. Yeah. All right. So besides your fantastic colors, obviously, that we see, what makes your shop unique? Besides, you have a cool logo as well.
Oh, thank you. I designed the logo. Do you know what a sock blank is?
Yes.
Yay.
Oh, I watched your video about that where you did the sock blank like painting scape. I'll put the link to that down below because I was like mesmerized by that. Like I particularly enjoyed the fractal one.
Yes,
I like fractals. I'm a mathy kind of, I'm not like good at math. I just enjoy things like Escher and fractals, and I like geometry.
Yeah, super fun.
If people don't know what I'm talking about, put the link down below and go watch the video where she paints a whole sock blank, and cool. It was cool.
Yeah, you should include the link to either the videos on my Facebook, or not my face, Yarn Over New York's Facebook. There's the video tab there. And then also the Yarn Over New York has a YouTube channel, and there's several sock blank painting videos that are up there. I think
that's where I saw it. It was really cool. But yeah, that definitely is unique.
It is unique. So how long can I talk for? So for those of you who don't know, this is a sock blank. It looks like a scarf, kind of. It's machine knit, flat piece of fabric. Try to get you a close up. So you see, it's knitted. And then I lay it out on a table and I paint it. So remember my logo, the Statue of Liberty with the buildings. So this is
my
favorite city, New York City.
That's super cool.
Painted on yarn. So I've painted like probably close to 300 of these now by this point. And each one is a little bit different. Its own work of art. When people order it, I paint it exactly for the person that orders it. So you get to pick your sky color. Like this one has the big rainbow. Yeah. You don't want a big rainbow. There's not a big rainbow. Most people, opt not for the rainbow, but for those who love the rainbow.
Hey, but I have a question. So just for viewers, just to clarify. So when you go about knitting that, you're unraveling it and then you re-knit it into a pair of socks. So it's really hard for me. Oh, you're going to show me. Fantastic. To visualize what it would come out looking like as a sock.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
so cool.
Great question. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
So this, I'm just going to show the not rainbow portion because the sock that I have knit from a similar sock blank,
right,
just has the blue cloudy sky. So you can see that
yeah.
it doesn't exactly perfectly create the image, like it doesn't recreate the image exactly.
No.
But you get like speckles and stripes inspired by the original. So that's how, that's how the landscape ones work up. And see, now you can see why this is kind of my iconic thing that I was like, oh yeah, I could put that in my logo.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah,
that's really neat. So I will say, I've knitted from a sock blank once before, and I found, and I don't know if you found this or people have said this to you, I prefer the time that I did it, I prefer to re-skein it and steam the kinks out so that, because I find that it affects my gauge slightly. It's already kinky, and that will affect, like, depending on the needle size you use. So if you tend to knit socks very tightly, then, and your wrapping of your yarn, the diameter of your needle will be affected by the pre-formed kinks from the sock blank. So there's no problem. It's not a problem to just reskein it and then steam the kinks out. It's no problem. I have a video showing people how to do that. But I'm just saying that's my preference, but that is super cool to have that recreated in a sock after you have your landscape. I think it's fantastic. Yeah.
I will say the single stranded sock blanks do tend to have tighter kinks. Right. The double stranded sock blanks where you work 2 at a time, those I haven't really had a lot of personal trouble knitting directly from the blank. But it is, it's a personal preference. And if you already have a tutorial ready to go, then I bet your audience is
and it's
going
not,
to
it's not a problem. It's not totally not a problem. It's just personal preference. Yeah. But it's super cool. And people have to go check out the fractal one. I thought that was really neat and totally unique. But I just like, I like fractally geometry, things like that. So, ooh, see, and awesome colors.
Thank you. So this is half of a sock blank. That's why it's so small. It's half because the other half became a pair of socks.
That is so neat.
Yeah. So this is this one was painted on a double-stranded sock blank. So there's 2 strands that come off of it.
Yeah.
So I personally rip out as I go, knit 2 at a time on a magic loop.
Okay.
And I've got tiny little feet. So I made a pair out of half of the sock blank, and then the other half is left.
You have tiny feet. Let's just specify you have tiny feet. That would never work for me.
I do. I have tiny feet. It works out very well.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about
that. So one sock blank of that normal landscapey size is about how many yards?
So each sock blank in each weight is equivalent to 1 skein of yarn.
Okay.
So for the sock weight, the non-sparkle is 462 yards. The sparkle is 438 yards.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, it's equivalent to 1 skein of yarn. And then for the DK, it's 231 yards.
Okay. Awesome. I always like specifying that because some skeins that you buy are 400 yards, some are 460, whatever you said. And so it really kind of depends. It's always a concern for me because I wear women's size 12.
Ooh, yeah.
So I need to, it's concerning whether am I going to have a contrasting heel and toe just so I have enough, or teeny people like you can have 2 pair. Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So what are your favorite, clearly based on your designs and what you're wearing and all that, what are you like a lot of different things, I'm guessing. So what are your favorite fibers or colors or both to work with?
Okay, well, I can answer both questions in 1 skein of yarn.
Okay.
I love rainbow, and I really hope I set up my lights so that
Oh, I
should be
can see the
showing up.
sparkles. That's
You can-
super cool. Yeah, hold it a little closer though, just so we can all, and then up a little. That's lovely. That's beautiful. That's
So I love rainbows.
Yeah.
And I love sparkle. I do have plenty of non-sparkle options for those who prefer non-sparkle options. But if I could choose for me, every day would be a sparkle day.
That's it kind of reminds me of My Little Pony.
I very much enjoy My Little Pony.
Yeah. Insert My Little Pony music right here.
Yeah.
Which I don't have it, but it would apply.
Yeah. I mean, like,
lovely. That is awesome. So what blend, what actual fiber is that? Is it merino nylon mix?
so the sparkle sock, and it's called Broadway, and all of my bases are named after neighborhoods in New York. So Broadway is the sparkle sock. It is superwash merino, nylon, and stellina.
Oh, right. And hence the sparkle.
Hence the sparkle. And I personally prefer the stellina sparkle over the Lorex sparkle, because the Lorex sparkle, like, you can feel it, and this you can't feel.
Okay. Good to know, especially if you knit dense fabric socks like I do. I mean, I like dense. Yeah.
I wear socks knit out of this.
Sparkle.
I would not wear socks knit with Lorex.
So clearly being a New Yorker is at the forefront of your branding and your shop. Tell me more about how that influences everything you do.
I mean, it like I said, I've been here for 19 years, so it definitely influences everything in my life. And there are many things that I love about it. But one of the appeals for me, and I think for the whole world about New York, is that, like, it is the city of dreams, you know, like, this is where people come to carve out their little place in the world. And yes, we live in tiny little apartments, but 19 years ago, I moved here to be a stage manager, and I lived in this very apartment. I slept on the couch, and I lived with 3 dancers. And when one of them would spend the night at their boyfriend's house, I would sleep in that person's bed. You know, like that's you know, like, that's where the dream started. And then, you know, throughout the years, I grew up a little bit. I got better paying jobs, and that, you know, and then there were only 3 people living in a 3-bedroom apartment, and that's the way it stayed for quite some time. And then 5 years ago, one of the roommates moved out, and that was right around when I had learned how to dye, was dyeing all the time, dyeing yarn all the time, all night long, because I was working, and then, you know, just stay up all night dyeing yarn, and people were buying it. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll take that 3rd bedroom and turn it into my studio. And I did. And then the super exciting part about my dream coming true right now is that the roommate that stayed 5 years ago, he moved out November 1st. So I now am in the 1st bedroom that I lived in this apartment. That was his bedroom at the time that he moved out, and is now my office. It is carefully cropped. Everything that is not in frame is in piles, but I'm turning the living room into expanded, like, kitchen dye studio area. This bedroom is
so, like, staying power, man. You outlasted them all. That's fantastic.
Yeah, here I am. Yeah. My roommate is my yarn business, and it's fantastic.
Oh, that's wonderful. So what's coming up for Yarn Over New York in 2022?
Okay, so I am so glad you asked, because I talked about sock blanks, and I have lots of sock samples knit using the sock blanks, but people keep asking for other things. to make using the sock blanks.
Oh, sure.
And
Sure.
yeah, and especially the DK weight ones that I have, people do like to knit DK weight socks, and they're perfect for that.
Yeah,
But people
especially
also,
when you live where it's cold. Absolutely.
yeah, but people also might want to knit other things using knit or crochet other things using the sock blanks. So I'm going to revamp this old pattern that I have, which is a mix of garter stitch and brioche to make basket weave. And I knit this using commercial yarn many years ago, but I'm going to revamp it for one skein of yarn and then one gradiently dyed sock blank.
Nice.
And I'm going to also create a crocheted version. So this will be for DK weight sock blanks coming in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I feel like people make lots of things like, mitts and hats and, cowls, all kinds of things you can do with, little shawls. And if you had more than one sock blank, you'd have a bigger shawl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Lots of fun, right? I also have something that is very exciting that I can't reveal, but I want to drop the little hint.
Give us breadcrumbs.
Yeah. I bought a new equipment, like a new piece of equipment, and I'm going to need some time to learn how to use it and do some test designing and developing. But I'm hoping that first quarter or early second quarter of 2022, I can launch a very exciting brand new product. Ooh. And this will be it is not hand dyed yarn.
Okay.
It is hand dyed.
Oh, I might know, but I won't say. Okay. So we'll leave that teaser there, but where could people follow you so they'll find out, so they could be the first to know when that happens?
Yes. So the very best place to stay in the know, direct to your inbox, specifically with the information that you want, is to sign up for our newsletter.
Perfect.
And we do a once weekly newsletter with new products, events, pattern suggestions, lots of great fun things to do. So sign up for the newsletter.
Yeah, I feel like, social media is great. It's fantastic, but email is more dependable and not dependent upon somebody else's algorithm showing you or not showing you. So email is the way to go.
It really is. And, there are some, features on social media, that are great for browsing, but if you want information reliable, newsletter's the way to go.
Awesome. So we'll put your links to everything down below.
Yeah.
Where people can find you. Hey. Fantastic, Jessie. You're delightful. Thanks so much for joining me, taking the time out of your busy New Yorker schedule, because it's the holidays and I know you're slam busy, but thanks for joining me to record this. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It was a delight.